What's going on, you guys? This is Ryan from WadFigs here, and this Sunday is the Survivor Series pay-per-view, and I'm really looking forward to it. And we're going to be doing my predictions for the pay-per-view, and I have to say before we start that it's really hard to call. I can see a lot of different things happening for each match, and my predictions have been changing throughout this whole week. Also, I don't have every single figure of every match, especially the tag team elimination matches, because there's so many competitors. But without further ado, let's start. So the first match we're going to be talking about is Kalisto versus Brian Kendrick for the Cruiserweight Championship, with the stipulation being that if Kalisto wins the title, the Cruiserweight division comes to SmackDown. And this is a very difficult match to call because I believe the new show 205 Live, which is the new Cruiserweight show coming to the WWE Network, it's going to be filmed before SmackDown, so it would make sense for the Cruiserweight title to go to SmackDown. I just don't see that happening. I don't see Brian Kendrick losing to Kalisto, so I'm going to say that Brian Kendrick retains. I believe that the Cruiserweight title should be on SmackDown. I really want it to be because Mauro Ranallo is on commentary. Daniel Bryan is there, of course, who were the commentators of the CWC, and it only makes sense for it to happen. But I just don't see Brian Kendrick losing the title this early in his reign, and I think if anybody's going to beat him, it's probably going to be Rich Swann or TJ Perkins. However, if they'd like Brian Kendrick to remain the Cruiserweight Championship and still go to SmackDown, what they could do is have Kalisto win. Maybe someone costs Kendrick the match, and then Kendrick gets his rematch clause and wins it back on SmackDown. Then we have the Intercontinental Championship match where The Miz will be defending his title against Sami Zayn. Now, I assume that if Sami Zayn wins the Intercontinental Championship, that it's going to be coming to Raw. However, maybe there's a chance he does win and then they trade Miz for Sami Zayn. My official prediction is going to be The Miz. I know a lot of people are saying that Dolph Ziggler is probably going to cost Miz the Intercontinental Championship, but that really wouldn't make much sense because then the IC title would leave SmackDown and Ziggler wouldn't have a chance to get it. So that doesn't really make much sense. So I'm going to go with The Miz. I say he does retain. I'd love to see Sami Zayn on SmackDown, and there's a chance he does win and they do the trade, but I'm just going to go with The Miz. Then we have our first Survivor Series Elimination Tag Team match, which consists of Heath Slater and Rhino, the Usos, Team Breezango, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, and I believe American Alpha, and they'll be taking on Cesaro and Sheamus, the Shining Stars, the New Day, Enzo and Cass, and the Club. I believe that the SmackDown team is going to get the victory on this one, probably with the Shining Stars or somebody getting pinned. I just see the way the pay-per-view turning out is that SmackDown gets a lot of the wins, which pins Raw kind of against a corner and worried that they're going to get swept. But I'll get into that later, so I say SmackDown gets the victory, probably with American Alpha or either Heath Slater and Rhino getting the final pin. As you can tell, I'm obviously missing a lot of the competitors in the Women's Survivor Series match, but regardless, we have Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Bayley taking on Nikki Bella, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Natalya, and Becky Lynch. Like I said in the tag match, I believe SmackDown is going to get the victory on this one. Probably with Becky Lynch getting the final pinfall. I hope we do get some stare downs between the four horsewomen, or just a part of the match where all four of them are in the same ring at the same time, maybe with all three of these girls taking on Becky. I hope this match is really good, and I also could see Alexa Bliss maybe taking out Becky in the middle of it, or Carmella turning on Nikki. I don't think this match goes as planned for either team, but regardless, SmackDown's gonna get the win. And then we have the match that I personally am looking most forward to, and we have the best male competitors from SmackDown, Shane McMahon, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton, taking on the best male competitors of Raw, which is Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Chris Jericho, and Braun Strowman. There are a lot of things in this match that are going to be really exciting. For one hand, you've got all three members of the Shield in this match, and I definitely think that at one point, we're going to see a triple powerbomb. Probably on AJ Styles, I don't know, but I hope we definitely see a triple powerbomb in this match. The other thing I'm looking most forward to is that AJ Styles and Seth Rollins are probably going to be able to be in the ring at the same time. Are you kidding me? Honestly, it took me 10 minutes to set all these guys up because Seth Rollins kept falling over, so I don't even care. I really do want to see an in-ring confrontation between AJ Styles and Seth Rollins, which is one of those dream matches that I still really would like to see, and we got a little taste of it on Raw when Rollins hit the pedigree on AJ. So Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon hopefully are going to square off. Braun and Bray, that's going to be awesome. We also have the very interesting aspect of The Undertaker saying that whoever costs SmackDown Live the match is going to rest in peace, or he'll have consequences to deal with. And that right there solidified the point that I believe that Raw is going to win this match. I believe AJ is going to cost whoever the match, probably Dean Ambrose, and AJ will have to face the consequences of The Undertaker, which is going to lead to a WWE Championship match at the Royal Rumble. So Raw is going to get the victory in probably their most important match, and AJ Styles is going to end up being in a feud with Undertaker. That's probably me just hoping for it more than predicting it, but I really hope that happens. And then we have what I assume is going to go on last. I'm not 100% sure, but we have Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, and I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in this match. There are reports that just came out that Goldberg is apparently injured, or he's hurt or something, and I think the worst thing for him to do is go into a match against Brock Lesnar, but regardless, it's obviously too late to change that. I think the most interesting aspect is going to be the crowd, and they're in Canada for the first time in forever, especially at a pay-per-view, and it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they actually cheer Brock Lesnar, who actually, I believe, lives in Canada now, and boo Goldberg, which I think is going to happen. I don't see them cheering Goldberg, at least that much, compared to Brock. The match itself, you know, I'm not going to get my hopes up. They're probably going to brawl a lot. It's probably going to be a lot like their WrestleMania match, but I don't see how it's going to be better because obviously Goldberg is not in the shape he was however many years ago, and Lesnar's obviously not the same wrestler he was. He does a lot of suplexes in every match, and that really doesn't favor Goldberg and his health. In fact, I can probably see Goldberg getting injured. The main problem I have with the way Brock Lesnar has been used these past couple years is that he's being built as unstoppable, and he's beaten everybody from John Cena to The Undertaker. Almost every single superstar on the roster has fallen to Brock Lesnar, and whoever beats Brock Lesnar has to be their next John Cena. It has to be their next big superstar because you've built this guy so much up to being this beast that I don't think it's right for Goldberg to come out of retirement, beat him, and then go back into retirement. So I predict that Brock Lesnar is going to get the victory on this one. If Goldberg wins by any chance, I believe Shane McMahon will probably step in and help Goldberg win, since he said him and Brock have unfinished business, and that's a match I really don't want to see between Shane and Brock. But regardless, Brock Lesnar, I honestly think, is going to win, and that's going to do it for my predictions for Survivor Series. A lot of matches, a lot of really great matches. Looking forward to the Brock Lesnar and Goldberg one. That should be very interesting. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Jesus Christ, I'm tired of talking so much. But if you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like. Stay tuned to some more videos coming soon. And as always, stay tuned to the next one.